British boys looking for a reset. If you're feeling like a kid at Christmas, you've every reason to. What a year we're looking forward to. What a night we're looking forward to. Of thunderous intensity. St Helens with first touch of the ball and a chance to clear their lines. But Warrington, as you'd expect, right in their faces. Liam Moore and Chris Kendall, referee and video referee respectively, as Clemmer takes it forward. One of 5 new faces in St Helens 17 tonight. Warrington likewise have 5 new faces in their lineup. And this already match number 9 in 2026 of live rugby league on Sky. And there is more this year than ever before. As St Helens on the final tackle, the final play, get a kick away from Jackson Hastings, just one of those new signings. And a catch from the youngster, Kai Taylor-Ray, who looks to bring it back rapidly. And Warrington find themselves a good 25 away from their own line.
Yeah, high energy first set, both in attack and defence, and a good first early sighter for Kai Taylor-Ray. I think Brian said he described him as electric in the build-up to this game. It's absolutely the right word to describe him.
And a penalty given away, which immediately hands Warrington an advantage here. They'll be starting their next set close, if not beyond the halfway line. Sneed with a kick.
Yeah, Shane Wright just holding on a little bit too long, and a really easy leg up, unexpected leg up for the Warrington Wolves. Toby King, first tackle here, already well inside the Saints' half.
There are several new rules, new interpretations for this season, aren't there? That's one of them. We're going to see speedier plays at the ruck, which is great for the game, the speed of the game, but clubs and teams will have to get used to that in these early stages. But Warrington looking to set a platform here with Walker at dummy half. Back it comes to Sneed. Now Williams is involved. The no-look pass for Harrison. Playing in the back row, the second row, so a little wider than he's used to. Picked up by Walker again. His 150th Warrington appearance tonight. And this, the final play, will see Warrington in excellent attacking position. Sneed with a kick, looking to isolate. It's not the best of kicks, and it's going to be picked up easily by Robertson, and St Helens will be very grateful for that. Drag, but not beyond the touchline.
Yeah, smart by Harry Robertson. Bouncing ball, loose ball. First instinct was to get back in field. Well, that's a good, really positive start by the Warrington Wolves. It couldn't be anything but, could it, with a volume of people cheering them on from the terraces. The atmosphere in here is unbelievable.
Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Delicious recipe here tonight for our first Friday night of delights on Sky Sports. And the penalty now goes St Helens' way. So they both transgressed, and Saints now have a chance to build in their opponent's half.
Yeah, Sam Stone this time just too much. Couldn't clear the ruck in time, could he? He put his body in front of Nene McDonald, one of those signings that you mentioned for St Helens. He was a real handful, more on him later.
He had a field day last week, but that was against Workington. No disrespect to Workington in the Challenge Cup, but St Helens looked to have set their platform of play in that match. Very different opposition for them here tonight, of course. This is Clemmer, who's 40 away. Clark out of dummy half. Back to Hastings again. Switch back. Miscommunication. Misfiring pass. Ball goes to ground. And Warrington congratulate themselves on their opponent's mistake.
Yeah, Hastings is looking at Delaney. Catches Delaney's arm. The prop forward is going through on a decoy lead line, tight lead line. Just a miscommunication or a misexecution from Hastings. Not the most auspicious start, is it, from the former man of steel, but they'll get plenty more reps at that, plenty more sighters of this Warrington line.
The guys were talking beforehand about coaches under pressure last night as well, talking about coaches under pressure at the start of this season. About 10 weeks before the end of last season, would you have been surprised at that point to have found Sam Burgess still in charge at Warrington here?
Well, the season did drop off alarmingly, didn't it? But I think, you know, a young coach, big name in the game, he's got to be afforded time. And what they have done, I think, is really smart, is bringing someone in with all the experience in the world. Steve McNamara, right of your picture. You know, that should give Sam an awful lot more options and another ear to bend as well.
It's all about ifs and buts, isn't it? And they weren't far away from being Challenge Cup winners, of course, last year, Warrington. Controversial late try denying them at Wembley. Walker back to Sneed. Sneed sticks it up in the air. He's got some attention from the oncoming right, but the kick is away, and that is a really good chase. And it means that St Helens have to start. King hot on their heels. St Helens having to start inside their own 10.
Yeah, good, honest kick chase from Toby King, and gives Wellesby absolutely nowhere to go. The Saints are working hard, though, to try and clear, still inside the red zone, their own red zone, but I'm going to put that down to some really good line speed and kick chase pressure from Warrington.
Delaney with the drive. Clark moving in, wants of this parish, of course. Darryl Clark wants a local hero, but now very much in the red V, as he has been for a couple of seasons. Will collect, doesn't go, puts it back to Wellesby. Wellesby off that left foot. That is an arrowing kick that he's got away. Real spin on that, and it flew through the air. Warrington have it tracked and bring it back. Here's King. Just trying to test them here, testing the resolve down the middle, but it is not found wanting. Walker at dummy half. Offered back on the inside from Thulis, looking for the centre shape of Hopewati. Walker again, Sneed and Williams with a dummy. Tries his first burst of the new season. St Helens players in his way.
Well, they're getting to the channels really well, Warrington, and another good set. Look, they're finishing just outside their own half, but they're looking really smooth and getting to the channels, and then that next kick afterwards, their next drive afterwards rather, they're making some really good meters.
That's a great kick from Sneed, wasn't it? Because world-class full-back Wellesby looking to get its measure, but it landed in no man's land because of the direction. And that just loses St Helens a few yards, gives Warrington a bit of a G-up to get into their opponents' faces. It's quick at the moment. Curry taking a bit of a tumble, but he's okay. Clark again on the feet of Wright, and Harry Robertson given very little time, but still does well in getting that ball away, and Hastings offers it back on the inside for Clemmer to have a force. And one play to go inside their own half. Hastings' kick is important. A little bit of not me, it's you, a little bit of confusion. Josh Smith, the new signing, is the man who eventually takes hold of it, but he and Taylor Ray were having a bit of conversation there as to whose that ball was.
Well, it was Josh Smith. He got it on the second bounce. An athletic player, the winger, who's come across from Brisbane East, once upon a time a Melbourne feeder club. He's had a wow of a year last season.
A bit of a gather in again, and taken on by Hopewati, the outside backs doing a bit of the work in the early stages, as is so often the case in the modern game, as Taylor Ray will take it on another yard or two, but they've reached the last. Back it comes to Sneed. Good spin on that ball as well, and it has to be watched carefully by Wellesby, who takes it in and delivers early, looking for Cross to make some motion. Hastings back again, and here comes MacDonald. It's one of the exciting things about the early season, isn't it? Looking at players, new signings. There's another set of 6 here for St Helens, wondering who might be the star of their club, who might be the star of Super League, and this fella could well be both of those for St Helens. Wellesby delaying the pass and then not giving the pass, but Curry is not buying the deception. But St Helens are moving closer here. Decent position they find themselves in, with tackles in the bag. 12 away. Clark. It goes left to Hastings. A dummy from him. But 3 Warrington defenders quickly to him, and Hastings is still struggling there, still trying to enforce the issue. Still tackles in the bag. Shorrocks again. He goes on that solo route. Now it's the last. Clark, Hastings, slinging it along the line. Little ship from Wellesby. The leap up there from the man who's made that a real trademark felt, but he's beaten in the air, and Warrington do superbly well. Smith again gets out of there.
Yeah, great work, wasn't it, by Josh Smith? He said he had a great season last season. He played the majority of his rugby for Easts in the centres, finds himself on the wing. That's a fantastic take. Really good take, because we all know how dangerous Carl Felt is in the air.
And a penalty here for Warrington as well, so a little bit of self-congratulation going on, and a chance to clear their lines.
Yeah, this is the penalty, just a little bit too much in and around the ruck. Felt is not moving, static on top of his defender. Too much going on. Toby King complains to the referee. Referee agrees.
Well, we are licking our lips in anticipation of 2026, a World Cup Challenge a week away. Vegas, the return 2 weeks from here. A showpiece occasion in Paris to look forward to. A tale of two cities in France on a regular basis. Toulouse and Catalan in Perpignan. Two new English cities represented on these shores as well in this year. And a sparkling new venue for Magic Weekend. And some wonderful rugby league to look forward to, which is being represented right here. Eventually Hopewati brings down, but Warrington are making yards, getting themselves closer. Here's Walker, back to Sneed. Williams now, he puts the kick to the corner, and Wellesby, always favourite to get there. Just a little bit of hesitation, but manages to do the job.
Yeah, really smart attacking play from the Warrington Wolves. Coast to coast in 2 tackles. And I told you about them getting to the channels. Have a look at this. 3-pass shift. And it hits Stone. He finds Kai Taylor-Ray, gets past the first, then offloads. They're making meters really, really easily. That'll be an early point of concern for Paul Rowley.
Well, it was shortish, but not short enough. Warrington have a good position back here. Hopewati back now for Stone. Stone with a big hit and the twist. Walker again. Sneed. Williams chiming in. Now it's further left again to Toby King, who reaches and will claim the try. Referee points the finger. Warrington have their first of the night and their first of the season.
It's a brilliant finish from Toby King. As we know this season, the video referee will be reviewing that in the background just to make sure. But it looked for all money like Toby King's first try of the 26th season. And again, off the back of some great attacking play from George Williams. This is the dropout, really well taken, with conviction from Hopewati. And again, just how quickly they move the ball, how comfortable they look. That's the result of an awful lot of reps on the training field. And an early ball to your centre. Any strike centre like King, and there are no problems with that. You know, big, athletic human being, Toby King. Give me early ball. Let me take on my opposite number. Skips to the outside. First try, first blood. Warrington Wolves. It's a lovely little shimmy, is that. Gets on the outside really well. No double movement. Ball carrying arm, not grounded. No problem.
We're still waiting for absolute confirmation. And not until then will the shot clock go on in terms of the goal kick attempt. Mark Sneed down there is, I think, just asking the referee what the situation is.
Yeah, take another look at it. So Toby King beats Robertson, all ends up. And look, that for me, that's absolutely 100% a try. Yeah, the try...
Well, has been confirmed.
Yeah.
Confirmed as a try. Countdown's on, and of all the kickers, I think this countdown might be an issue. Mark Sneed loved to milk this kind of situation, didn't he? Take as long as he possibly could before this new 60 seconds to take the kick rule came in, but it doesn't seem to be troubling him too much. Well, that's how much it's troubling him. Right from the touchline, strokes it over. Little wave for the St Helens fans, and Warrington leads 6-0.
Incidentally, Mark Sneed, with that conversion, moves just 4 points to go 4th on the Super League all-time points list. You know, we know what sharpshooter he is. No problems with that, however. That's a really positive contribution from Toby King, who's looked really lively in the opening quarter of an hour. Kick chase, big activity, offering lines for Williams. Great in defence, opening try as well.
So 15 minutes played, John, very nearly. Overall impressions?
Yeah, really,
really
impressed with Warrington, actually. I think particularly as soon as they get into the opposition half, just how quickly they can move from point to point on the field. So getting from the channels, the white scrum lines, and operating against defenders with probably different mentalities. Standoffs and back rowers defending next to one another.
Well, they're making progress again here, quick progress. Walker out of dummy half, Taylor Ray's quickly in there as well. First receiver, but that was the 5th tackle, so that'll be a standard play for him throughout the year for Warrington. Kick, easy meet for Wellsby. This is Hastings. Felt big body of his just taking in an extra yard or two.
It's a good response
away from Taylor.
Sorry, Dave. It's a good response from Saints. Some really strong carries here.
Wellsby again. Right. They're deep inside their opponent's half with a couple of plays still to go. Sharks to Hastings and Sailors over there again. A little delayed pass, and suddenly there's room on that left-hand side for cross, but Warrington's defence is over there and efficiently. 1 to go. Hastings puts the kick up, spinning end over end, keeping it up in the air, dropped on in the end, and Warrington get away with it.
Yeah, well recovered from Curry. But look at that. The Warrington Wolves, 85 metres in a set. It started with Wellsby, clean catch. And what he does really well, you know, and he's done this throughout his career, his first 2 steps are always really positive. Gets on the front foot, Kyle Felt with a second carry. And they take some real meters. Now it's Warrington's turn to try and work their way out of their own 20.
There's Walker, quickly out of dummy half, has support as well from the lightning Taylor Ray, who puts the foot down, and look at this, look at that, wow! It's a thunderous noise, but it was a flash of lightning on the field. Kai Taylor Ray, there's the potential, there's the reality.
And that's what potential being realised, Dave. And look at the teammates surrounding him. The entire Super League world knew that this was a gamble. But this kid has just answered any doubters. What a fantastic individual try. The pace on the line, you'll get a really good look here. Supports on the inside, into the backfield, and then he just pins his ears back. And look who he's taking on. Wellsby, one of the best defensive fullbacks in the league, taken, left for dead. This angle will show it beautifully. Fullback just tracking Walker on the inside. And that's the quick ruts that we're talking about, the boys were talking about. Walker able to get out on the front foot. And then this kid, wow. Wow.
Wow, indeed. Well, he scored a couple of tries.
That's the sound of vindication.
Yeah, I knew he could do that. And he's just shown it. 3rd try of the season already for Kai Taylor Ray.
Do you know what, I remember, look, he's inexperienced, just his 10th first grade game. And he is a runner of a ball, I think. Runner first, passer second. But boy, has he got some speed. I remember watching him in 2024 at Castleford. I think he scored an absolutely cracking individual try that day. Announced himself to the Super League world. Hat full of meters as well. And it's absolutely set this stadium alight.
Well, he's a Leeds lad, but he's been at this club since he was only 14 years of age. Kai Taylor Ray, so they came in as one as their own, especially after that. And Warrington lead by 12 points to 0. Well, good heavens, what a start.
They'll be playing this all season. Walker finds Ray. Look, just getting himself in that position is one thing. See the speed on the lad. Go on, CTW. We are going to be seeing plenty more of this kid in 2026. The boys will analyse that at half-time, and I dare say they'll point heavily to the input there of Danny Walker in the build-up. But as a fullback, you've got to get yourself in the right position. Tracking on the inside, into the clear. Boy, what a try, what an individual try.
Well, what about a change of the mood of this club already? Young fella has provided us with a memorable moment, and there could be many more to come in this game, the way it started. Williams pinned down. Walker out again. Taylor Ray looking for a bit of glory again, but it is, again, the last play. before the kick from Sneed. Wellesby looking up at what kind of effort is coming his way, and decides that Kyle Feld is best suited to deal with that with his size. Hastings. The rolly ball has not quite got full roll so far, but we're looking forward to watching his side this season as that begins to develop even more as well. Here's MacDonald. Clever with a hammer and the offload. That was good. Saints looking for a response and looking wide as Cross goes skipping forward, attracting Warrington defenders his way. They've only one play left in this set. Hastings sticking it up there. The chase is on, but there's the test at the back. Bravery required, and he showed it aplenty as he's hammered to the ground.
Yeah, he was collected on impact, wasn't he, by Nenny MacDonald. Fine margins these, but referee adjudged that Kai Taylor-Ray hadn't yet reached the ground. And he's probably right. Yeah, he's definitely right. First contact, and we're talking quarter of a second from Nenny MacDonald there, from that being a cracking tackle. But instead, through the boot of Mark Sneed, Warrington Wolves up around the 40-metre mark already.
Not the only game played tonight, of course. There's another game taking place at the moment. Lee Leopards are leading 4 points to 2. Innis Senior on his Super League debut for Lee. Early days in that one as well, of course. Earlier tonight, if you missed it, Catalan 26, Huddersfield 10. It finished in a very damp Perpignan. Tanganoa getting an early touch. Could be a ball steal here. Has Walker kept a hold of it? Yes, he has. This now is Yates. Set restart in amongst all of that as well, so Warrington have got plenty of time with ball in hand. Sneed dummies, doesn't get too far. Walker. Curry. And a last play for Warrington to try and create something here. Williams down that right-hand side with a chip to the corner, looking to isolate Dion Cross, but he's got up and pushed back, and they've done the job. They forced the drop out underneath the sticks.
Do you know what? For all the razzmatazz that we've seen, for the silky passing, the individual brilliance in the shape of Kai Taylor-Ray, it's this stuff that I think Sam Burgess and this crowd, I think, will be really, really appreciative of. The kick chase, the pressure, not allowing Dion Cross to get to the ground, just in and up around the tackle. So Thewlis and Hopoate there, they're holding up Dion Cross's weight, not allowing him to get to the floor, and they earn another set in a really inviting position.
Hastings with the drop again. They're going short, even though last time it led to a try against them. It is a gamble, and it hasn't paid off because Thewlis comes up with Warrington possession.
Yeah, well, look, I can see the reaction, and I understand it as well from Harrison. Harrison and Clemmer going nose to nose here. Clemmer's coming hard and heavy. He had the sniff of a crusher about it.
I've got the set restart, basically.
As the teams separate, it's Thewlis who once again to underline the point about Warrington and that enthusiasm. First to the ball, he got down, he was sat down, and then Clemmer's come over the top. He's come over heavy-handed as well, and James Harrison took exception to that. Referee will be receiving instructions here from the video ref.
Flops on, so I'll give a set restart. So I am going to go the zero tackle there unless there's anything different. I will speak to him. Cheers, mate. Well,
the last thing they'll need is an injury to Josh Thewlis. Still missing, of course, Matty Ashton following that ACL. What is it, May last year?
I'll speak to
Not quite ready for the start of this season, but hopefully he's back before long.
Yeah, it's just that action there. He's in a vulnerable position. I mean, it's not technically, that's not a crusher tackle. It has a crusher motion to it. He just folded him, hasn't he? His suitcase, Josh Thewlis, one of the toughest kids around. Yeah, awkward.
Yeah, no, I appreciate this.
And you can see why James Harrison came in to show his feelings about that one and to make objections. I'm not sure you can call that foul play just aggressive, isn't it?
Okay, 6 again. We're going to be on 0 tackle. All good. All good. All right. Yeah, so it's going to be set restart.
Intentionally evil. It's just gone down as clumsy.
You've got it.
So
Set restart.
6 again for Warrington. It's as good as a penalty, really, isn't it?
Set restart.
There's a tap
0
and go.
tackle. There's a set restart.
Or a heel and go. Take your choice. This is Yates. And from one look to another, Luke Littler in the crowd. World champion, of course. He's got a big smile on his face for very good reasons. As a Warrington fanatic, and his smile might be getting bigger in just a moment. As Smith even tries to cut back. There was a St Helens touch. We're back to 1 for Warrington, laying siege on this St Helens line.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Tanganoa, fresh from Hull Kingston Rovers.
Tackle 3.
Walker, Sneed. There's Curry looking for the run back on at the inside, but the footing is not good.
Stand for Hall.
So Yates, he's clumsy. It's a knock-on, and St Helens, time to celebrate for them because they will get the ball back.
Yeah, well, celebration and relief, I think, as well, Dave, because they've been under the cosh here. 12-0, and there's one team that looks really dialed in at the moment. And the ball's been knocked free by Clemmer. That goes down as a ball handling error. There's one team here who's dialed in, and that is the Warrington Wolves. Saints still finding the way a little bit. And they'll take any reprieve they can get. Sam Burgess will be extremely happy with the way his side has started.
The Saints could be making changes soon. There's some of the other games coming up this weekend, of course, and don't forget the Bench podcast every week as well. There's Robertson. There's Saylor. Felt. But Warrington are rather dominating matters at the moment, both in terms of the flow of the play and the scoreboard. St Helens, no, just one break, one try, and suddenly the game is wide open again.
Yeah, House with his first touch in Super League. Double change made. Delaney and Clemmer. Delaney tops the tackle. 23 tackles, Delaney, in his opening stint. Really impressive.
Shorrock's helping it away to the fresh body of Alex Walmsley. But it is the last, so Hastings will send it steepling up there. All eyes to the sky, and it's Saylor who came down with hands on it. Robertson who picks up the pieces. It is still the last play, so still a sense of urgency as Hastings puts the kick for the corner, but it is too heavy for Cross to chase. Warrington get it back close to their own line.
Smart kick from Hastings, exactly the right idea. Just a little bit too much weight on it. He sees the space, sees the right side defence of the Warrington Wolves up. Yeah, just too much mustard on the kick. And as a reminder, just how good that kicking game can be, and just what a threat he possesses. Didn't get it right that time.
Opuati with the carry. 26 minutes play. It's a reminder of what's just happened in terms of comings and goings.
Yeah, big stints, big opening stints for Clemmer and Delaney. And most teams will be desperate to have a player like Alex Walmsley to start with. They get to bring him off the bench.
Missing Matty Lees, of course. That's a big miss. He got injured in that cup game last week, and it's likely to be a few weeks before he returns. Takes a bit of shine off the heavy artillery. Here he comes again, and he's made the break again. Taylor Ray with a pass. Out it goes. Little search for the corner, and it is going to be another sensational try. Opuati with the finish, but it was all about a young fullback, Kai Taylor Ray. Swiftness of foot for the first, similar for the second, but then a heck of a pass to create the try.
Well, Super League's got another speed merchant, Albert Opuati with the try, but CTW, the wheels on him. It's ridiculous. Just ducking in behind the ruck as well. Through the first line of defence into the backfield, that was the question mark I had on him. I knew he was quick. I knew he was really quick. He's got a pass on him as well. We discussed this earlier in the day, runner first, but if you've got this in your armoury, and you can get into space and give it to someone in a better position than you, then you are going to be a huge asset for your side. Albert Hopewarte, try number 3 for the Warrington Wolves. Sam likes it, Sam loves it. But Kai Taylor-Ray, take another look at him in the build-up to this, because that was special.
Well, I tell you, this crowd have been thrilled by a certain fullback at this club over the last year or so. But the question already, 28 minutes into this new season, is Matt Duft who?
Yeah.
Because they've got a new star in town. Sneed's on the clock.
Time's off. Shot clock off, time back on.
Hook from that right-hand side. It has gone wide, and it remains at 16-0.
Yeah, take a look at Kai Taylor-Ray's starting position here. He's signed behind the ruck, and then just ducks in behind, into that dead space in behind the ruck. That's a really smart piece of running play. And those with pace know that there's that little soft spot. If you've got the pace to get past the initial mark of defenders, there is a natural gap there in behind the ruck where you make defenders, first defenders off the ruck, often very big men, look very silly.
As he carries it back, just to make everybody of a certain age feel a little bit better, Kai Taylor-Ray is still a week or so away from his 20th birthday. Still just about 19. Curry. Here's Walker. He's in the mood. Sneed's boots call into play on the last. Wellesby underneath it, and he was in that in-goal area, so it will be a tap back on the 20. And a little bit of a slip there from the kicking point of view, because St Helens has suddenly given 7 plays to play with and a good starting position. Jenna Brooks, what have you got for us?
Yeah, evening, Dave. Just looking at the non-playing players on the bench, and behind the bench, you've got such a huge comparison, don't you? You've got the Warrington team there. I mean, they don't look so happy right there, but just when Kai Taylor-Ray made that break before, they're on their feet, they're laughing, they're joking. You've got the St Helens side, who look fairly shell-shocked, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. Oh, this is good hands, and suddenly felt travelling, but in the face of numbers of defenders. But this is encouraging for St Helens. It's a squeeze by Robertson. Talking about young players with flair and style. Hastings back on the inside, Shorrocks. Hastings again, Wellesby pops one over the top, crosses, isolated and dealt with in no uncertain terms.
Exhibit C, Warrington Wolves, the attitude they brought to their opening game this evening is first class. Toby King kick chase, opening couple of minutes. Josh Sulis first to a bouncing ball 5 minutes ago. Josh Sulis does not give Dion Cross an inch. Hammered into touch. Well, and look, yeah, what other reaction can you have? Plus his cheeks. He was given nothing and nowhere by that man.
So Warrington have got some work to do, and St Helens recognise this as an opportunity. A set in defence to put some pressure on their opponents. Stop them dominating things, but offloads like that from King, just releasing the catch again. Walker. King. Walker. Williams, solid from Walmsley.
Well, he's done well there. Alex Walmsley, he found himself out of position. Middle forward, because of the rush to the edge from Toby King the play before. He ends up third man in from the touchline. He does a really good job on Williams.
Sipley, top Sipley. Walker. Cross with a simple catch from an easy bounce and finding his way back very nearly to the 30-metre mark. Latest score from
Lee, by the way, the Sports Village. Lee 10, Leeds 2. A few people reckoning this could be a very good season for Lee, and likewise for Leeds. This time of the year, it could be a great season for everyone, couldn't it? York City Knights, after their exploits last night, will be dreaming of bigger days to come as well. Hastings, the short ball. Again, they hit the last. Wellesby's in there. Hastings again wants this so he can put it across the field. Felt up, huge. Robertson lost the ball. Warrington drop on it. First knock on was St Helens. Warrington survive again.
Yeah, again, well-constructed last tackle play. It's all targeting at Kyle Felt. Weapon in the air. First touch was good. Robertson just could get clean hands on it, could he? He was under again. He was under all sorts of pressure, wasn't he, from Josh Smith? And it's been a real hallmark of what we've seen over the first half hour. Just how fast our Warrington are to everything.
There is a familiarity to this scoreline. Warrington have actually beaten St Helens in the last 7 times they've played against each other. 5 in Super League, 2 in the Cup, so...
Carry.
Walker on the back of that has got room to run. Quickly closed down. I think he might be hurt, is he? Wormsley's looks a little concerned.
Again, it's just another awkward one, isn't it? Wormsley over the top, play on.
This is the last. Sneed again. Sherlock's in hot pursuit, but Sneed gets the kick up. Wellesby soundly underneath it. Oh, the pass was asking a lot, and that was perhaps an expected outcome. Felt put in the face of fire.
He's took the ball really well. He's passed, but look who's on the scene as well. That's a really good read defensively. I think that's a mistake that's been forced into Kyle Felt because of the actions of Toby King. Wellesby was tracking across the field, and Toby King saw and predicted what the outcome was going to be. I think that goes down as a forced mistake, a forced error. And look what they're earning themselves. They've worked really, really hard, Warrington. I've been super impressed with what I've seen so far.
Opportunity knocks again for Warrington. Walker, who's been busy, who's been lively, and has been very effective thus far. Sneed again. Down the middle, it's taken by Joe Philbin. Walker to Williams. Just a bustling, bursting effort. King fancies this himself, loses the ball. Clark might have had a hand in there.
No advantage.
Penalty.
Offside, no advantage.
Offside against the St Helens defence.
Yeah, look again at the shape. Shape's so good. Williams to the lead line runner in Tanganoa, who just bumps Sailor off, swats him away. And this is King, just doesn't, he can't ground the ball. He's under all sorts of pressure, isn't he, from Darryl Clark, but offside St Helens to go again, Wyatt.
That was a terrific effort in defence from Clark, wasn't it? But unfortunately for him, it came from an illegal position. So Warrington on tackle 1, and now with 5 to go, really do sense a chance to make this even bigger and even better. Hopewati pushing it for the corner, but the defence comes across in numbers.
Tell you what, that's a fantastic tackle. That's a cracking tackle. This thing will show it brilliantly. Dion Crotty's just absorbed all the pace and momentum of Hopewati. He's got one thought. This man cannot get the ball down. Brilliant try saver.
Well, the defence has certainly not been questioned in recent years, has it, St Helens? I think they only conceded 54 in all Super League games last year, so that goes without saying. Williams. Here's Walker. Curry to Sneed, who slides a cute one in, and that's going to be offside, surely. Yeah, offside. Cross knocked it down. Clark picked it up.
He touches it
out of necessity, but it has given Warrington at the very least another set and possibly a kick for goal.
Yeah, well, look, you know, you won't blame Darrell Clark. I think if he doesn't pick that up, I think Warrington potentially score a try. You can't. You just got to accept the penalty there. This defence is being examined, and Sam Burgess with a really early call. Extend this lead, please.
No captain's challenge, so St Helens
Shot clock on.
clearly admitting their culpability there.
Is it? All right, right there. You get a good shot.
This for a 3-score lead with just about 90 seconds of the first half remaining. What a statement Warrington are making so far in this game. They will not rest on their laurels, given what's in that St Helens side.
Get your arms down. Get your arms down. Keep your arms down. Keep your arms down.
Shot clock.
Thank you. Shot clock off.
Little twist and turn, as he so often does. That's his style. Over it goes. 18 points to 0.
Yeah, and it's been a first half that has been completely dominated by Burgess's Primrose and Blue. St Helens, they've not been allowed to find any kind of rhythm, have they, in this game? And it's been a really, really impressive first 40 minutes. Look, this is a ridiculously long season with so many twists and turns, but this packed crowd will be really, really pleased with what they've seen. Paul Rowley, I'm sure, will have a notebook full of stuff to try and impart to his team.
Well, the guys will be analysing this at half-time, Brian, John and Sam, and we might well be looking at how many play the balls St Helens have actually had inside the Warrington 10 so far in this game. It can't be many. Walker scampering, trying to create havoc in the dying embers of the first half. This next one may well be the last play, and they make something of it. Well, they will have time for one more. And Walker is just happy to roll that out of play. The Warrington players bounce towards the halfway line. Taylor Ray has put a bounce in this Warrington crowd tonight with one super try scored and another one created. Warrington are the entertainers so far tonight, and they lead St Helens by 18 points to 0 at half-time. One on the terraces, I suspect one's a little quicker than the other one. It has all been about Warrington so far. Do we see a response here, John Wells, from St Helens in the second?
Well, I expect they're going to try. Look, I think one thing they've got to address, not just the points on the field, but just the attitude. I think they've got to try and match what Warrington have done. If I read some stats out at half-time, we looked at those. 60% possession, 95% completion, 21 out of 22 sets. Just 3 missed tackles and a solitary error from Warrington. The picture perfect first half.
Simply on the charge as Warrington get through this opening set, as Curry takes it on again, gets his arms through the tackle, but can't promote the ball, but did nick about 5 or 6 yards further than he possibly had the right to. Sneed the kick, and the chase is on. Wellesby picks up, looking to return, looking for a little bit of a glimpse of daylight in that Warrington defence, non-apparent. So let's hear from Jenna about what was said in the dressing rooms at half-time. Jenna.
Yeah, I can tell you it takes a lot to get to Paul Rowley. He just mentioned the 2 words, discipline and ruck. I said, can you get back in this? He said, always. Sam Burgess didn't give a lot away. All he said was that the game is not over and for his players not to put their cue in the rack. Back to you, Woodsy.
Interesting night for Lee Breers, who's sitting alongside Paul Rowley, isn't it? His St Helens cap on as a former Saints player, but very much a former Warrington player as well. This was his club, wasn't it, for many years? Penalty here for St Helens.
Oh, it's a tough one. It's a toff one because he tried his best to George Williams. I think Walmsley was so dominant in the tackle. Williams, you can see, does try and get out of the way, but he's almost rolls away from the ruck, but into the dummy half in Darrell Clark. Yeah, by the book, that's a penalty.
Play the ball, mate. Play the ball.
It's a play the ball.
Okay.
That's an odd one. Everybody on the field thought it was a penalty. It was odd to see Alex Walmsley walking up with ball in hand for a penalty, but Warrington was certainly foxed because they were lined up expecting a kick for touch. But anyway, we go on. Shorrocks. No look pass. Whitley, as you can hear from the referee, is dominated. Shorrocks rocking and rolling closer to where they want to be. Didn't have many situations like this in the first half. What can they make of it? Hastings with a twist and a turn. He'll be looking to lead by example. 200th career appearance tonight for Jackson Hastings. Saylor. There's a bit of a dart and a dash, but sandwiched between a couple in primrose and blue. It's another set of 6. Holding on too long, and St Helens now have a platform. Walmsley, ruggedly, close. Just throws his defender out of the way. Short again. Warrington's defence has to be tight, and it is. Clark spins it back. Hastings now, little double pump from him. In fact, he kept the ball in hand, and Welsby was taken off the ball. Yep, referee gives a penalty. Welsby hit on suspicion. Saints get the pen.
Well, it's a chance for them to reset. And I tell you, Jackson Hastings getting caught in possession far too many times. You know, his role really here is to put people into space. Finally, he's the playmaker. And he's been caught in possession a dozen times already today.
There's blood. I think the referee just explaining, and St Helens fans suggesting that this is being put on, but there is blood there, so he has to stop the clock. It has been dealt with, and another set. Boy, does St Helens need something from here. Hastings goes out. Saylor adds a little bit of electricity. Taken on again, but Robertson held short. Warrington's defence comes flying out. Walmsley tries to straighten them up. Puts them back on the goal line. Clark now dodges to that right-hand side. Saylor, Shorrocks helps it on its way again. Here comes Host. Bustling in, not going too far. Hastings looking for the long ball, finds cross, angles in. This could be quite a finish. He's got over the line, but I don't think he's got it down. Yeah, held up. Back 10 metres. Well, he beat 2, but 2 more came.
Yeah, good footwork. Got himself in a try-scoring position, but repelled. Kai Taylor-Ray in there, Thewlis in there.
Hastings, Shorrocks. Now it's with Welsby. Big ball over the top. It's a stand and wait now for Felt to collect. Now he tries to build momentum. Warrington's defenders scrambling all over him. Again, they reach the last. 2-3 back-to-back sets here. Nothing to show so far. Welsby, pick up off his feet by Whitley. Hastings the kick to the corner. Up goes Cross. Ball goes to ground. Referee has a look and he says knock on. Cross is complaining that he was manhandled in mid-air without the ball, but it goes Warrington's way.
Yeah. Cross just not able to gather in cleanly. Saints have really tried to up the tempo a little bit, but there's not an awful lot of game plan in there. We've hammered this short side, this near side a couple of times late in the tackle count through Hastings and Welsby. I think the defence has done really well.
Perplexed is the best word to describe the look on Paul Worley's face just a few moments ago there. Oh, that ball has lost. And Saints have it back again. Can they build again now? MacDonald drags his side closer. Whitley's here at dummy half. Shorrocks, Saylor. And now it's Hastings, and a hand on that, an important hand on that as well. But it has just given St Helens another set of 6. This is the best spell of pressure Saints have had in the game so far.
Yeah, and it is a test and an examination of the Warrington Wolves defence. But Josh, I think, look, he does exactly the right thing. You know, he doesn't do that, then it's a walk in, trying the corner for Kyle Felt. So, look, roll the dice, back your defence, defending up for another 30 seconds.
So Hastings will feed here. Clark picks up behind the back of the scrum. Saylor now will carry it on. It's Wellesby and a dodge back on the inside by Robertson. Warrington back on their line again. Hastings to Shorrocks. They've run out of numbers on this left-hand side. Shorrocks will just take it in solo mission. Clark. Just you could hear the effort coming in there, couldn't you, from Jacob Host as he took it forward. Clark again. Saylor, and almost slipping through, but his knees were grabbed from beneath him. Clark, Host. Hastings again, the kick to the corner. MacDonald, he's on the chase, but it is a hand from Williams that saves the day. Warrington get the drop.
Yeah, that's a much better kick. Really challenging kick. Williams had to play at that. He got on his bike, got his head down, and snaked out his right arm to stop Nene MacDonald from opening the scoring for St Helens. And you're right, it's a real period of sustained pressure here. You do feel like they need to come away this last sort of 5 minutes with something to show for it.
Well, interestingly, Saints have gone short on their 2 dropouts so far tonight. Warrington a bit more depth off the boot of Sneed. Just gives possession for certainty back to St Helens, but gives them more area to cover with ball in hand. Warrington backing their defence. Clark, Hastings, Wickler, upended. Williams, the menacing man on that occasion. Not a set, George Williams not square. So the pressure just keeps mounting, but it's also mounting on St Helens because this kind of field position, and for so long, if they do not come away with points, and maybe a little bit of energy seeps away, Wolves has lost the ball, and for all that they've been there for an age, they rarely look like scoring.
Well, that's it. You know, the Warrington Wolves have grown another foot now. And that's 5 or 6 consecutive sets they've defended. And it's a ball that's rifled with probably a little bit too much juice on it for Alex Walmsley.
It's a look that says it all. Jack Hughes is the latest scorer for Lee, who now lead 14-2. It was 10-2 at half-time, that game. Warrington looking to plunder some yards again. Perfect night so far for Sam Burgess, isn't it? He's seen his side razzle-dazzle in the first half, turn it on, and
well, just
they've been under pressure and really worked hard.
We're in a brilliant position here. Take a look around you at the stands. I mean, you know, there is not an empty seat in this house, and they've been treated to an A1 performance from the Warrington Wolves so far. Both sides of the ball.
This is a more than decent set as well, from deep inside their own half. Philbin on a big play takes his team midway inside St Helens territory, and Sneed will look to finish with one of his trademark kicks. But Hastings has caught it, and there's a bit of space here. Saints have it back. It's MacDonald. Clark to cross. How do Saints break this up now? How do Saints change this?
Well, I mean, I think they just need to find their identity. I think they've been not allowed to get into any kind of rhythm whatsoever. You know what's when Saints are at their best, and that's ad-line stuff. They've not been able to generate any sort of momentum around the ruck, and despite the sizable figures they've got in that middle unit. And you put that down to just how well Warrington have been defending.
Well, he's beating his own man to the ball as well here, Taylor Ray, and immediately offering a threat. Not at half-time. His dad was a decent player as well. People may remember Jermaine Ray, the Jamaican international, who played at Hunslet and York and Keighley and London, and Felix has made the mistake here.
Yeah, first lapse of concentration. And it's a simple put down, and again it's prime position for St Helens, but Look carefully in this set and just what the position they take up. Now, very often, a side will get. This is a typical attacking settlement. What would you do under Paul Rowley? They've had a pre-season to work at this. Situational stuff on a training field. 20 metres out, left hand upright, scrum play. I want to see which points they hit for plays 1, 2, and 3 here.
This now is Robertson. Surely they have to come up with something here, St Helens. For the good of their own mindset. 8 minutes and 21 seconds of this second half, St Helens have had the ball, and most of it has been here. Hastings trying to shuffle it away, and finding again, and finding away. Wellesby dragging himself over. St Helens finally make a breakthrough. Is this the start of something? St Helens are on the board.
And it's that situational stuff. They have gone through plays like this. They do entire sets. Get themselves in a good position. What does it look like from the 20-metre line? They get the opportunity because of that mistake. They go back to the left-hand upright on the third play, and they disguise Jack Wellesby, who never ceases to amaze me just how strong he is in the tackle. Deceptively strong, brushes off Sneed, carries Walker, and opens Saints' scoring. But there's no doubt about that. That is a training ground move. Open the field up, back to the left-hand upright, and then Jack Wellesby from a blind position, trailing Jackson Hastings, and they get a much-needed try, much-needed points on the board.
They're just having a look at this.
Time off.
Chris Kendall is
Official
deciding
review.
he wants a longer look here.
The video referee's looking, he's reviewing the try.
Yeah, but what are you checking the try?
He's looking at the lead runner first.
Checking for obstruction here. Let's have a look at this.
We're checking the lead runner of David Clemmer. Okay, the responsibility of Clemmer is to find space. He doesn't, he runs directly at the chest of Kalepi Tanganoa. Kalepi Tanganoa is then materially disadvantaged. He can't have an effect on the tackle on Wellesby. I'm happy I do the angle I need. I've made my decision.
Well, it sounds like that brief moment of joy is going to be snatched away from St Helens. Remember, every try is checked in the back this year, and if the video referee decides he's seen something he doesn't like, he will give that message out. It is no try, it's an obstruction, and therefore it's a Warrington penalty.
Are you sure about that? I'm not sure about that. Look who makes initial contact here. Tanganoa goes at the Saints player. It's Clemmer, isn't it? The Warrington defender initiates the contact there. Clemmer's in the way. Tanganoa initiates the tackle. I think Warrington have got away with one there.
No try, so try again. The message for St Helens. They remain frustrated. Straightforward effort. Down the middle again. Warrington rapidly up to the halfway line. Crowder's on the field now as well. Walker. Tackle 5. Turn away, spun to the ground. With a rattler for him. Sneed sticking it up there. Phelps. Oh, prodigious leap. He had to be good there, didn't he? In the face of the challenge from Toby King.
Two players well renowned for their aerial abilities. And it's a good take, committed jump from Kyle Felt.
Sailor wanted a quick tap, but the referee says no. Sailor.
That's one. Hold. Goal one. Two.
Right. Will play just short of the halfway line. Shorrocks across the line, it comes to MacDonald, and he's grabbed a hold of by Hopewati. Wormsley with a surge. Lomax on the field as well, operating out of dummy half. Quick hands patted along. It's not the cleanest of passing movement, but it does end up with felt. But he saw an angle, a passage down the middle. Hastings on the last, will hoist it. Sailors on the chase again here, and that's a mid-air collision, and the referees have judged it was an attempted tackle in mid-air, not a challenge for the ball, and so Warrington get another penalty.
Yeah, got himself in the right position, Tristan Sailor, but not a genuine challenge to take possession. He ended up just careering into Kai Taylor-Ray, didn't he? Taylor-Ray off the ground. There's got to be an element of protection to players there in the air, and he's just not there fast enough. Tristan Sailor.
Referee's just having a word again here.
Captain's challenge. St Helens are challenging the on-field decision of a tackle in the air.
St Helens challenging that penalty.
Yeah. That's fine, mate. No worries. Yeah, he'll look at that.
Okay, we have a captain's challenge. St Helens are challenging the decision of a tackle in the air. If we pause the ball on the foot, if we just go one more frame, please. Okay, yeah, everyone is onside. If we run it through now. Run it through on this angle, please. So we're looking... Okay, there's no issue there. If we get a tight-in shot now, please. Okay, is this a tackle in the air, or is it just two players competing for the same ball? If we go to the other camera one, please. We're looking at Tristan Sailor. Okay, he only ever has eyes for the ball. If we then cut to camera 7, please. Sailor is always looking at the ball, and this is just two players competing for the same ball. If we then go to camera 5, run it through now. So it's not a tackle in the air, and then the ball is lost forward by Warrington. I'm happy with the angles I need. I've made my decision.
Well, it's a wise challenge from St Helens.
Yeah, some good video refereeing there. Good angles. You've convinced me, Jack. Genuine challenge for the ball. Well explained. Successful challenge by St Helens.
Biggest roar of the night from the Saints fans. Suddenly they're offered an opportunity again here. Knock on, so it'll be a scrum down. But St Helens on feed.
Yeah, the more times you look at that, the more obvious it becomes, doesn't it? Tristan Sailor is competing. Well explained by the video referee. St Helens again, right. Prime attacking position. Wellesby play 3, I'm going to go here.
Oh, here's a play. Sailor suddenly puts it down, the ball goes in, and Sailor runs across to his left-hand side to try and create numbers, but by the time it gets to Manny MacDonald, there's 4 or 5 waiting, but they're offside, Warrington.
No, wait.
Some players always try to do the fast tap.
What do you make? Tap
Never allowed to. They're never allowed to. 6 plays to go. We've said it before, we'll say it again. St Helens need something, and they need it quickly. 24 minutes left to play. Still plenty of time in the game. Wellesby's had one false start. Can't get close on that occasion. Another set of 6, Lomax, showing all his experience. Going in at a very on square bunch of defenders. Dropped off here for Wright. Lomax Shorrocks across to Hastings and quick hands, and MacDonald can't step away, but now he can. Bounces off a couple of defenders, comes back to the middle. Clemmer picking up the pieces. Warrington desperate to get players to the left side of their defence, because that's where St Helens are coming now through Walmsley. And has he reached? Has he got there? The referee
Time off.
clearly thinks no
free.
try.
I have no try. Looking to confirm tackles complete. Double movement to the line, please, Chris.
Double movement is what they're looking at. This could be a painful outcome for St Helens, because it could be a penalty against them.
Yeah, go from here now.
I give it you. I give the markers, not square. Oh, did you get it? Yeah. I could see it, I'll give it, yeah.
Okay, so we're checking for a potential double movement. If we run it through now, please. Worms is in possession. Yates and Tanganoa. Yeah, if we go to camera 2, please.
Tackle 3, so another one.
Camera 1, please. Okay, so if we run this through full speed now, we'll watch it first on full speed. And if we go back again, please. Okay, so yeah, go through now, through slow. Okay, at this point, tackle is complete and Walmsley is well short of the line. He then promotes his arm and the ball, and that's the only reason that the ball gets to the line. It's a double movement. I'm happy, I've viewed the angles I need, I've made my decision.
So twice now they have tested it to the limits, but each time they've come up short, and it will be a penalty for Warrington. No try. Unless something's changed in the last couple of seconds.
There's a little bit of frustration here, do you think, building with St Helens? Alex Walmsley gets close, but not close enough. And as Chris Kendall explained, just tackle complete, tries to promote the arm. Not sure he got there anyway.
Okay, boys, let's go.
At least they're getting closer in this second half than they were in the first. But the growing frustration for St Helens, and we saw it a lot last year, is ball in the opponent's 20 and failing to convert that into points. It's only the first night. Don't draw any ultimate conclusions from this, of course. By the way, Ben Curry's been off for an HIA, but he has passed it and he's back on the field again now. Walker, this is Curry. Here comes Burke. Sneed. Williams. Looks as though it should be too deep, and yes it is, only just. Great effort from Josh Smith to try and get it back for one of those miracle tries.
Yeah, he came herring after it, didn't he? Meanwhile, Felt 7 tackles set and they're straight out to Jackson Hastings. He's hauled down though by Matt Sneed.
And of Sneed echoing around the stadium on the back of that defensive effort. Lomax. Lee now leading by 20 points to 8 against Leeds. Lomax. Lomax again. Now Walmsley on a bit of a rampage, trying to build it up a bit. Oh, brilliant dummy! Sold his man, head down for the line. Yes, he's got that. Surely no denying this one. Third time of asking. St Helens get their points. And there are still 20 minutes to go. But he's hurt himself in the making of that try.
Well, it's a classy try. And he's a bit of bother here, is Jack Wellsby. He's clutching at the shoulder. Didn't get a very good, clear shot of just maybe whether he's extended that in the act of scoring, the old AC joint, getting a workout potentially, but the try build-up, just a shift on the outs, shift of the hips on the outside. Brilliant finish in the corner. Yeah, he just sneaks on the outside of Liam Byrne, doesn't he? And then pins the ears back, goes for the corner. And he just extends that right shoulder, doesn't he, as he hits the floor. Look at that subtle shift to the hips. It's classy stuff, really classy stuff from Jack Welsby.
Not that long ago, we were talking about Jack Welsby in a similar style that we've been talking about Taylor Ray tonight. Still only 24 years of age is Jack. Such a senior star in so many ways these days. Hastings puts it well away. First attempt of the night. It remains at 18 points to 4.
Well,
it remains a 3-score lead and a worrying sign for St Helens.
Yeah, that's the most significant picture. These are great pictures. That's a silky try, a classy try from a really classy player. Just that shift on the outside, spots Liam Byrne, middle forward, defending out on the edge. Shows him a clean pair of heels. But it's this act here that as it goes down to ground the ball, the shoulder comes up in an awkward position, and he's been moved across, and he's supporting the shoulder there. It's definitely, that's a shoulder injury that really sore.
Owen Dagnall has come on the field while this has been happening. That is a very painful walk, isn't it? In front of those St Helens fans.
You know, so the last act for Jack Welsby was maybe to give St Helens a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, Dagnall on the field, and my initial reading of this, and John, you're better placed than me, but it looks as though MacDonald has gone to full-back. With Dagnall on the wing and Cross in the centres. Lomax picks up, Sherritt takes it on. Lomax again, interesting development in his career, isn't it? Playing as a reserve dummy half. This is MacDonald who's chiming in that full-back's position. Lomax again, wants to hurry things. And now Saylor. Saylor putting the skip on. It's out to Robertson. Up in the air from Hastings. Chases on. Saylor! Saylor! Oh! Where did he come from? He came at such pace. Warrington, open mouth, looking to the skies. Saylor suddenly appears, punching the air in delight.
That's an absolute stunner. It's a stunner from Saylor. And it's right underneath the sizable travelling support from St Helens. Well, the last 60 seconds, this game's been turned on its head. Look at Saylor, herring through. Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant stuff. And what a riposte from the Red V. Jackson Hastings lofts the ball, and he gives his man every chance to get underneath. It's a clean catch, bobble at the last second. But that's a try, and how important is that? Hastings will knock this over. We've got a 10-point ball game, and we've got a grandstand finish, Dave.
Well, better than that from St Helens' point of view. We've got an 8-point ball game, because Hastings sticks it in. 18 points to 10. Suddenly there's belief at the far end of the ground. St Helens have got momentum. They're in the mood.
That's so good. That is so good from Tristan Saylor. The kick from Hastings puts right on the spot. Now has to pick his way through Warrington defenders. You look at the response, look at the reaction from the crowd as well. There's life in them yet.
Well, we talk about 30 years of Super League, and we talked about how Warrington have seemed to have got the edge over Saints over the last 7 games they played, but Saints and Warrington fans will remember a period whenever these two met, St Helens always won, and they always seem to pinch it very late when they might have been on the losing end. Are they about to recreate that? Lots to come this weekend. Hull FC against Bradford tomorrow, as is Wakefield against Toulouse. The first sight of the new French club in Super League, Cass Wigan on Sunday as well. And don't forget the Bench podcast every Monday. But the Friday night lights are blazing bright here. St Helens suddenly have belief.
We've seen some cracking tries already, haven't we, in the games we witnessed so far in round one. Some belters here this evening.
Houston kicks away. There's a little bit of afters going on between him and Curry. Not sure what that was all about. But Warrington struggling now to get out of this end. They've really not had position at all, have they, in the second half? So dominant in the first period. Just restricted St Helens to mere scraps. But in terms of ball in hand at the right end of the field, it has been St Helens' half so far. Pick up from Walker. Scurrying a scamper, not square, not a set of six. Good play from the dummy half.
Yeah, really good for Walker, really smart. Now, is this the catalyst for something? Can Warrington get back in the groove?
This is Byrne. Super League debut tonight, of course. Williams trying to cut them open down the middle. Still a free place to go. Warrington looking for a settler. Sneed looking it back for the scurrying effort of Tanganoa. Here's Curry. Williams. There's some width here, provided by the super flying winger, Josh Davis. Aerodynamic perfection. Warrington back in the comfort zone. The lights are flashing. The noise is booming. And Warrington have a response.
That's a really special finish in the corner from Josh Davis. Once again, you'll see the setup, just how easily they've been able to move the ball, how comfortable moving the ball, and then an absolute belter of a pass here from Kai Taylor-Ray. Just rifles it to his wingman. There's still some work to do. Williams, Taylor-Ray, that's a belter. And that's a great finish, gets airborne, gets the legs in the air. Yeah, that's a great pass. And outstrips the St Helens defence. Owen Dagnall can do very little about that.
Wow. Have we seen a dull try tonight?
That's a really good finish.
Everything's been spectacular.
He never seems to do anything, Josh Ellis, without hurting himself. He face planted into the ground as he scored that. It was a cracker, that one.
Warrington's leading try scorer last year with 15, 13 of those in the Super League. He's up and running in the competition this year. And if nerves were building, that just settles them a little for the Warrington Wolves.
Yeah, it's been a productive last 15 minutes for St Helens, culminating. They worked their way into it. Couple of near misses, couple of almost, and then a 60-second period that blew this game wide open. So, yeah, it is a significant score at a significant time for Warrington.
Steve just rocking back. 2 tries, 2 goals, the difference at the moment, so he wouldn't mind sticking this one over. It's a tough one from the touchline, but he has kicked it, and it is a 3-score lead. 4 successes from 5 attempts, 24 points to 10. Warrington now lead.
Look, try scored by Thewlis. Try assist by Kai Taylor-Ray, try generated by Danny Walker with a lovely piece of smart play around the ruck, which, by the way, get this for a stat, was their sole play the ball in the opposition half.
Mate, the play's been reviewed, okay? You make contact that is considerably late, causing high-level danger. There's considerable head flexion. Mate, you're in the bin.
Yellow card.
So late tackle on the try.
Kai Taylor-Ray. Amusingly, Jackson Hastings says, me?
What's that, mate? It's been reviewed in that play. It's a late tackle. That's it.
You've got Jack Wellesby off injured, nursing an injured shoulder, we think. Jackson Hastings has to sit down for 10 minutes for this, and it's late, and it's a shove, and that's absolutely the right call. That's absolutely the right call.
200th career appearance tonight, Jackson Hastings, his Super League debut for St Helens, and it's going to end in the dressing room. He's gone right down there, even though it is only a Simbany who would be available for the last minute, two and a bit minutes, but maybe he's decided that's his night gone. We shall see. Just looking to blast their way out of trouble again here. He's 5 consecutive defeats at the end of last season. It is a completely different mood here tonight.
Absolutely is. Just picking up on the work of Toby King tonight as well. He's been really, really busy. And he's very often, for such a physical centre, drift in and out of games. I think, you know, if this game rather is a measure of how he's going to apply himself this season, he'll be a real problem for oppositions.
Well, all things being equal, Warrington would be up against the champions, Hawkinston Rovers, next week. But of course, Hawkeye have a date with Brisbane Thursday night. You can see that on Sky Sports, that World Club Challenge, which means that Warrington get a week off, and that'll be just an element of frustration, you would have thought, with the start they've made. They'd love to kick on again. But it's a fortnight before their next date. Wakefield at home, by the way. Field for St Helens. 14 points of difference. McDonald is busy.
Well, they've got more issues as well. Dion Cross is he's moving a little more freely now. I thought for a second there that Dion Cross was going to be the latest who succumbed to injury. Well taken by Smith, and then back on the inside to Roos, put in an absolute wow of a game. Kai Taylor-Ray.
Missed a lot of last season, one because he wasn't first choice, of course he wasn't Matt Duffy, but he also had a hamstring injury last year.
Which for a player, look, it makes no secret of it, this is a game based around speed. A hamstring injury, that's seriously debilitating. Hasn't he announced himself this year?
There's Sicklet. Walker picks up quick and smart, and Williams is off. 1 to go in this set. Sneed hunted down but kicks it away. Felt will leap off the ground to make that towering 6 foot odd of his even taller. Saylor. Sobering night for St Helens, isn't it? I mean, we're not in any way going to be writing them off. They lost twice to Warrington last year, but still managed to get within 80 minutes of the grand final. But just a reassessment.
Well, I mean, I think Paul Rowley being pragmatic about it. He won't be happy with the performance, of course. I think you need to give credit where credit's due. This has been a superb performance in the main from the Warrington Wolves, the side who all the boys said before the game had plenty to prove, and it's been built on actions like that. As much as we've seen and wondered at the finishing by Fulis and the breaks and the try by Kai Taylor-Ray, it's this sort of attitude that I think will please the coach the most.
It's a happy box.
Play the ball, lads, play the ball.
St Helens will go up against Lee, by the way, next week, and Lee, it sounds carouselling towards victory against Leeds in the other match tonight. So they started in 5. But what a start to the Super League. I mean, York last night, good heavens, what a result, what an occasion. Record attendance here tonight as well. Biggest crowd in this stadium, biggest crowd to watch rugby league in Warrington, as we mentioned earlier, for over half a century. And anybody who's been here in Primrose and Blue will want to be back, I'm sure. Sneed. They're having a party down on the terraces below us. Williams. Here's Taylor Ray. Curry. Sneed. Saylor came at him, but a little step away, and then a lovely little dinky kick in, and there might be time for another here.
That's a good tackle. That's a really good tackle. That's great vision from Mark Sneed. And Toby King was equal to it. He'd read what his halfback was doing. It's a good defensive effort by Felt, and he's left a mark on King as well.
He started the celebrations earlier, did Toby King, but he's in strife there. The kick is alluring, but Lomax just happy to gather it in and concede the dropout when worse might have been on the cards.
Yeah, it's really a piece of quick thinking from Mark Sneed. And he's hauled down, dragged down, ball first, arms round the ball, great defensive play, but they find themselves having to defend another set. It's been relentless from the Wolves.
Again they go short, and this time it very much pays off.
Here we go again.
Down with ball in hand. Scattering of bodies. Relentless effort by Warrington in defence. Shorrocks. Saylor. Carrying, attempting. Lomax. Clemmer with a charge. Last 3.5 minutes of the match remaining. Saylor again. Chip and a chase and a knockback, and Lomax helps it on, but should be gobbled up by the full-back, who's just hoping he could tease a touchline. Wasn't taken out of play, he somehow slithered between the grasp. Dummy and a dummy half again. It's had a great night, hasn't he?
Real celebration of rugby, I think.
But not him in particular, Danny Walker tonight.
Yeah, he's been very, very good. I mean, look, they have, I think, across the board. This has been 7s and 8s out of 10 for everybody in the team, and that's what you want. It's all very well and good. Someone having an absolute wonder of a game and it not being consistently represented across the park. Well, I think this has been a real team performance. Yeah, there's been some real standouts, of course, haven't they? But a really solid team performance in front of an absolutely bumper crowd, Dave.
Just over 15,000. They've squeezed as many in as they possibly can here tonight. St Helens fans have travelled in huge numbers. Warrington locals have turned up also in huge numbers. As a result, there's not a seat to be had.
Was it record in 50 years?
52 years.
52 years.
1973, oddly, it was a game in a Challenge Cup.
I thought you were saying it's a game that you were commentating on.
Not far off, actually. Well, not commentating on, but it's a game that Featherstone won. They got to Wembley that year, and our beloved Dave Redfern, who's a much loved member of our staff, was in the Bradford side that got beaten in the Wembley final against Featherstone. Here is the pickup and a carry, and Shorrocks, and wider still it goes. And Robertson's involved. Lomax, Saylor. Oh, it's given away, and Thewlis gratefully receives it. And Williams looking for the outside. Decides he's not got the pace for that, but he might know a man who does. Hopperati brushes away one, steps away from another, and on this night of nights of fabulous scores, put that on the list. Hopperati. Footwork that was bewitching and bewildering. St Helens clutching at shadows. Warrington
made entirely himself. There's some significant signings have joined this Warrington side in the off-season. But I'll tell you what, Albert Okpuate has put his name right up there as well. Saints overplaying, you can't blame him for that. It's where we are. Nice little pass out the back. It's still nothing on. Step inside, and then that's sensational. Sensational. And he's a happy boy. And why not? What a finish. The young fans in here, they're coming their absolute droves this evening. And they've witnessed some special stuff, haven't they? Brilliant team performance. And capped off with some individual brilliance at times.
Well, there is going to be a review here.
Time off. Official review. He's reviewing if he's tackled before he's made contact with the ball. He's going to have a look. On Matt Whitley, have a look.
Let's see from the video referee.
He's having a look if he makes contact with him before he gets the ball.
Okay, we're just looking at the contact. Is the contact on Whitley prior to him being able to take possession of the ball by Okpuate? Okay, as you can see there, his right arm makes contact, and then if we go to camera 9, please. So we've already shown that his right arm makes contact, and his left arm also makes contact prior to Whitley being able to take possession of the ball. That's tackle without the ball. I've viewed the angles I need. I've made my decision.
Oh, stop it. Okpuate is going to be denied. Oh.
Wait for this, by the way. Wait for the reaction to this. There's Warrington fans from Party Central to Billy Buskill. Here we go. So he's restricted to just the one try tonight. Is he not just going for the ball? He's going for the ball.
He's wrapped his arms around the player. Yeah. I tell you what, there's millimetres in it.
Before he gets the ball, it's a penalty.
There's millimetres in it. And it, well, so all that good work then, it won't go on any highlight reels. It's like it never happened, Dave.
Well, he's still got a one try tonight. He scored on his debut in the Challenge Cup last week against Sheffield. He's scored on his Super League debut here tonight. And I think overall he'll be very satisfied with what he's provided, but disappointed that that try will not be remembered.
How silky was the footwork? That was exceptional work.
Here's Clemmer. Jackson Hastings is coming back out, by the way. He's back on from the sidelines as Dion Cross is making good progress. Lomax helping it in on his way. Shorrocks, Saints back to 13 for the couple of minutes that remain. This is Hastings. McDonald spins it to Shorrocks, and now it's Walmsley on the rampage, but not for long. Lomax, Hastings. Oh, there's a scattering of bodies. Whitley went end over end, and the referee does see it as a penalty.
Yeah. Okay, mate. Time's off.
Yeah, it's Whitley, the man who takes a tumble. It's just, I'm not sure how deliberate that was. He kind of tripped over one another. It's Williams who goes inside. He actually ends up ducked inside Whitley. Just the legs clash. George Williams is trying his best to convince the referee it was an accident. But it's not going to change the outcome of the game, is it? And it's not going to change the rest of the evening for these Warrington fans. It's a sizable victory. Yes, we're round one. Yes, it's a long season, but all you can do in round one is make a statement, and they've done that.
Hastings again. Ball over the top, lovely pass, and Felt, grateful recipient on the end of that. Matters little to outcome, but at least it gives St Helens something to smile about at the end. Kyle Felt the scorer.
It was a great pass as well, good vision from Tristan Saylor. Well, I thought he had an outstanding debut season for Saints. Ever present in 2025, played in 3 different positions, was asked to play in 3 different positions. half, one of them, and he finds the key pass there to Carl Felt.
Choice confirmed. And the kick is wide. Might just be the last of it. Oh no, the referee has stopped the clock, so Warrington will have to kick off again. Sobering night for Paul Rowley on the sidelines. But as we keep saying, it is only round one. But try telling them that it's only round one and not to get too excited, because Warrington fans have been thrilled by what they've watched tonight. So a big hurled ball back to the middle. Belatedly, Rowley ball trying to attack from inside their own 10, but the smothering tackle will end the night. The wires are twitching with expectation. What a message. Line in the sand on 25 from their point of view. New beginnings, they hope, but a sobering night for St Helens, in which they have been humbled. Taylor Ray, the star of the show, with a first half full of wonder from him and his side's point of view. They've done enough in the second to resist any kind of a St Helens comeback. Warrington up and running in 26. They've beaten St Helens by 24 points to 40.